Today, I want to talk about how much of a loser I am at Marvel Champions. A loser at Marvel Champions. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's right. If editor, if you could cut that part out and we'll start again, that'd be great. Thanks. So I want to talk about kind of my strategy with Marvel Champions and board gaming in general. If you watch the live streams over on twitch.tv/D20 Woodworking, especially when I play novels, there'll be a lot of times that we play and I lose the game, and that's quite all right. I actually don't really mind losing that much. I think it's still enjoyable to lose, and I get I'm kind of in the minority of that, but I kind of want to talk about how everyone else kind of approaches this topic of importance of winning and losing. More and more on Reddit or Facebook or whatever it may be, I see people talking about that they don't want to change their game too much because they're worried about the difficulty being too much. They're worried about the game not being fun anymore because they're just getting crushed by Ronin or whatever else. And here's the thing: if you enjoy the game and you enjoy playing it on the easiest setting or whatever it may be, and that's fun for you, then go ahead, do that. Like, it doesn't really matter. But I wouldn't let fear drive what you're playing, right? Like, let joy drive what you're playing. What I mean is, if again, when I see these different posts from around the internet, people are saying like, "Hey, I want to try Ronin, but I don't want to like lose. Like, there's a lot of setup, and I don't want it to be like overly difficult, and I don't want it to be like a pain to do." And I understand that, and I get that. One thing I will say is Ronin, if you play it multiplayer, is a lot easier. Just FYI, but also Ronin isn't. I mean, he's hard. He's really hard, but he's not as bad as I think people make him out to be. Like, you could still win against Ronin a lot, especially if you do a 3-turn rush strategy. I've talked about it in other videos before. If I can find it, I'll link it, but maybe I have to do a new video of how to beat him fast. But anyway, there are ways to make Ronin easier to beat him. The same could be said with Venom Goblin. Again, hard scenario, but there are ways to make him easier. There's certain strategies you could do with any hero. It doesn't really matter. But I wanted to talk a bit about this because I feel like I'm in the minority here with a lot of this, that when I play on a live stream or whatever it may be and I get a loss, like it doesn't really affect me or bother me. And I think there's pros and cons to that. And again, this is something I want to get your take on as a community of how much this stuff matters to you. So for example, you have someone who's hyper competitive, right? They have to win at the game that they're playing. There can be pros to that, right? They generally probably get better at the game quicker, right? They have more skin in the game essentially, and they have more drive to learn from their mistakes. Now, the cons might be that they're kind of overbearing, or it's not the best person to be around or something, but there probably is a good delicate balance between those two things. And if you could find that mark, that's fantastic. If you're like me, where maybe you don't care about losing at all, then you may not get as good as you should as quick as you should, because why do I have to make as much improvement? It's not that big of a deal. Honestly, the main reason why I even try to win games is that you all don't think I'm terrible at them. I mean, I'm not great at Marvel Champions, but I'm not terrible at the game. And if I had a channel where it was just a bunch of L's after another, like just a loss after a loss after a loss, I feel like no one would watch this channel anymore, and they'd be like, well, what's the point? D20 is not good at the game. There's nothing really there to watch except, him pull Shadow of the Past every 4 seconds. And I'm this way with a lot of board games too. Anytime that we play a new board game, whether it be solo or multiplayer, the results of the game doesn't really matter to me. Really, it comes down to just fun, right? How much I'm enjoying the game, how much I'm enjoying playing the game, going through the processes, maybe the theme of it, maybe the mechanics of it. I'm a big mechanics guy. I think, especially multi-use cards, if there's fun mechanics to the game, then I really don't really mind about the result that much, because if I have fun during the process, then the whole thing is good in my opinion, even if it ended poorly. Now, quick side with that. There are times when the ending does greatly affect me playing the game. Like, there are times I've had a great experience and then the game just goes terribly downhill, just falls apart at the end, and I'm miserable because it just felt like it was this great experience and then put a really sour taste in my mouth. And this can be true with like really long games. Like if you're playing like Mage Knight or something like that, right? It takes 3 hours to play, and the first 2.5 hours are a lot of fun and really enjoyable. And then like your last 30 minutes, the game just falls apart due to like bad luck or bad card play or whatever it may be. It becomes less enjoyable in that sense. Again, I don't mind losing at those games, but when it happens like that, or really in Arkham Horror, this happens to me a lot. I'm enjoying the process, and all of a sudden, like, there's luck in the game, right? And it's sometimes just luck goes against what goes against you, and then you end up like losing everything. So that stuff does bother. But anyway, past that, I think it's important to kind of talk to individuals and understand that when we introduce people into Marvel Champions or board gaming in general, we understand what type of gamer they are. And whatever it is fine. I'm not here to try to change you, to try to make you a different type of gamer. I'm just saying that we as a community need to kind of understand who we're talking to and play and lean into that. Because again, a lot of times people will be like, I'm too scared to try Ronin on expert. I don't want to lose. And it may be because they actually don't like losing and they think that's not going to be fun. Or maybe it's because they've already had it in their head that it's impossible. So what's the point? And those are two separate things that need to be kind of, diagnosed more or less. Now, why bring this up? Why discuss, people's issues with harder scenarios or harder villains? Well, again, I think the way that Marvel Champions and most board games in general become successes for a very long time is because of how much you can do with the thing, right? So for example, you can play Rhino on the core box a bunch of times in a row, right? You can use Spider-Man, use the Justice Spider-Man deck that the pre-con comes with, play with the mod sets that's recommended on standard. And you can play that probably a dozen times, maybe 2 dozen times, maybe 3 dozen times before you start getting bored. Maybe you pay 100 times before you start getting bored. But the thing is, eventually you will get bored. Eventually you will. We all do. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just who we are as people. But what adds longevity to the game is when you go, okay, after this 100 plays with pre-con Spider-Man against Rhino, maybe I try protection. Maybe I try aggression. Maybe I try leadership. And using that, we have now 4x the length of this game, right? And we make the game longer. We build a better community. The community as a whole gets stronger. They come out with more expansions. They put more design money and effort into the game. And we maybe one day end up with a sequel of this game, like, I don't know, DC Champions, that improves upon everything of this game. I think it's important to understand why people don't want to change. And again, I'm not saying to go out there and force the people to change, but sometimes the reason they want to change is because they hear, well, Claw and Expert is like impossible. Claw and Expert can be tough. There's no doubt about it. And if they're not ready to take on that challenge, totally cool, totally fine. But I think it's important to understand why they don't want to so that you can address what it is. Because I also see, and the other reason is I see a lot of people online go, well, if you don't do this, it's because you're afraid of playing the game at a hard difficulty. Or they start assuming things about the player already. And then I think that player starts to believe it that, oh yeah, no, I'm not really that good of a player. I'm not really into expert Marvel Champions, right? I can never get to that level. I believe everyone can if they really want to, and that's up to each individual. But I think us as a community, when we're helping new players get into the game, is not to scare them away from future things. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't talk about Ronin being super hard and difficult. I'm not trying to sugarcoat it and be like, oh yeah, Ronin's really easy. You'll have no issues with Ronin whatsoever. You still are realistic with the person, but you have to understand where they're coming from and what their hesitation is. Is their hesitation just because the community talks about how impossible Ronin is? Well, heck, I can point out a bunch of videos of Web Warrior Fanatic and say, it ain't that hard. And they go, well, Web Warrior Fanatic is a great player. Fair enough. Well, I can point out videos of D20 Woodworking do it. He ain't a great player, but he can beat Ronin. So I think it's important to understand where the hesitation is in different parts of the community. So I wanted to kind of just have this open discussion about this because I really enjoy these kind of talking videos. I think this has been fun to do, of just talking about the industry, talking about kind of us as players and where we are, engaging where we are. And I want to know kind of where you all fall on this spectrum of things. Is winning the most important thing? And if it is, do you enjoy the challenge of harder modulo sets, harder difficulties, whatever it may be, to try to beat that next level? Or winning is important, so you don't want to go to expert because you really enjoy winning on standard? Or do you not really care about winning or losing, so thus you're willing to try expert because who cares, right? Throw caution to the wind. Or you don't even try expert because, well, you don't care about winning or losing. So what's the point of making the whole thing harder when you don't really care about the end result? You just care about the process, right? And again, there's no wrong way. However you play the game is fine. This is more so when we kind of have new people come into this and new people want to possibly explore this game. Understanding what their hesitations are, or understanding what type of player they are, is important so that we can help them out. And again, have them enjoy this fantastic game, this absolutely amazing game. So Anyway, that's a bit of a rant video. Make sure to hit the like button, hit subscribe, turn on notifications. If you don't turn on notifications, you don't know when the videos go live. You don't know when the video goes live. You don't get to watch it right away. If you don't get to watch it right away, YouTube doesn't push it out to a bunch of people and then trick all those people to come watch the video. And then I grow larger as a channel. And then we can push more Marvel Champions to more people. And then more people get into Marvel Champions. And then I can create more content. And if I create more content and then you watch it right away by hitting the notification button, then more videos go out. Like, you see the cycle that we got to do here. So this is the game. So hit the little bell thing and then watch the video right away. I'll see you all next time.